In 1938, a fateful meeting took place in Paris. FIFA officials gathered around a mahogany table to decide the future of the world game. In a decision that would haunt the sport, they handed Germany the right to host the next World Cup. The tournament was officially scheduled for the summer of 1942. The bureaucratic machinery was set in motion, stamping documents with high hopes, but that tournament never happened. The stadiums remained silent, the pitches empty, and the world was plunged into darkness. What filled those silent years instead is one of the most forgotten, tragic chapters in football history. While the world burned, the game struggled to keep its soul alive. Before the war swallowed the sport entirely, the 1938 World Cup in France had already shown the world the storm that was coming. The crowds gathered, but tension hung heavy in the air. Just months before the tournament began, Austria had been annexed by Nazi Germany. Swastikas flew over the streets of Vienna, casting a long shadow over the beautiful game. The legendary Austrian national team, one of the greatest in the world, was suddenly dissolved. Players were forced into a dark dressing room, faced with an impossible choice. They were forced to wear German shirts. Most of them had absolutely no choice in the matter. The Black Eagle was stitched over their hearts, but their loyalty lay elsewhere. Yet, even as the geopolitical landscape fractured, the FIFA Congress went ahead. At the end of that 1938 tournament, they formally awarded the next World Cup to Germany. The host nation had just absorbed an entire country, erased its team, and stripped its players of their national identity. Football politics had turned a blind eye to the rising tide of fascism. Just 14 months after FIFA made that decision, the German tanks rolled and the Second World War began. The skies filled with smoke, and civilian life as everyone knew it was shattered. With the global conflict raging across every continent, both the 1942 and 1946 World Cups were canceled. Official documents were stamped with red ink, locking away a decade of sporting dreams. Ultimately, 12 long years would pass between World Cups. A massive gulf of time where the global game simply ceased to exist on the official stage. An entire generation of legendary footballers would live out the peak of their careers in uniforms, not jerseys. The prime of their lives was lost to the mud and horror of the battlefield. But here is what the history books rarely tell you. Behind the official silence of the archives, the game itself refused to die. Football did not stop. In parks, on streets, and in local leagues, the ball kept rolling against all odds. Italy's Serie A continued running deep into the war years. Fans flocked to stadiums for a few hours of escape from the daily dread of conflict. Even Germany held its national championship, matches lit by floodlights under heavily overcast skies. They played until Allied bombs made the stadiums physically impossible to fill. Meanwhile, across the ocean in South America, the Copa America went ahead every single year. The stadiums in Rio and Buenos Aires bathed in sunshine, as if Europe was not on fire. But the players themselves were paying a price no trophy could ever measure. The reality of war was never far from the pitch. Matthias Sindelar, pronounced Matthias Sindelar, the Austrian forward known as the Paper Man, refused to play for the Reich. In 1939, he was found dead in his Vienna apartment under mysterious circumstances that have never been fully explained. He was only 36 years old, a genius of the game, silenced forever before the war had even fully begun. Across Europe, professional footballers were conscripted and sent directly to the front lines. Boys who once danced past defenders were handed rifles and sent into the meat grinder. Some died in the freezing snows of Russia. It wasn't until 1950 that the World Cup finally returned, hosted by Brazil. The colossal Maracana Stadium rose from the earth, a monument to the sport's rebirth. Uruguay won the tournament in front of nearly 200,000 passionate spectators. The stadium was a sea of noise and color, celebrating the return of the global game. But when the final whistle blew and Brazil lost, that crowd of 200,000 went completely silent. A crushing disbelief settled over the stadium, a silence that became legendary. It remains the largest attendance in football history. A monument of passion built on the ashes of a decade the sport spent simply trying to survive. Football came back, but not everyone who played it did. The matches resumed, but the gaps in the team sheets remained forever unfilled. Some of the greatest players of a generation left behind no records, no video, no statistics, only a name in an old ledger. The game they loved never gave them a World Cup. The world they lived in had other, terrible plans. If you want to remember the chapters of football lore that history tried to forget, subscribe to Football Lore. Hit the like button and share this video to keep their memory alive.